And what's my name?
Hyena.
What's his name?
Hyena.
Say Aunt Hyenas.
And Hyenas. Hyena.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of History Hyenas. I am Chris Stefano, a.k.a. Chrissy Conniptions. With me, as always, Giannis Pappas, a.k.a. the Gay Greek. We have Zach Icisface, and then we have our boy James Mad Dog Mattern, a.k.a. James the Jew. So we got a full house in here today, Bubbas.
Yeah. We have our old friend James Mattern. Dr. James Mattern.
Dr. James
Is a
Mattern.
Dr. James Mattern.
He went from Mad Dog, which he has tattooed on his arm, to James.
James recently moved to Bay Ridge, so he is, in fact, the third Bay Ridge boy now.
Yeah.
And what we love about James, been dear friend since day one,
Is that he's Franks and Beans.
he's Franks.
I am
He's got
not Franks.
he's got a huge glue gun.
He does have a huge glue
He's
gun.
got the biggest cock you've ever seen in your life.
Because you see, James proves my theory that the universe is balanced.
Okay.
Okay, because he's got a nice piece.
Right.
He got a nice, fat, juicy piece.
Yeah, big dick.
But his head is shaped like Bert from Bert and Ernie.
It's
You would
what it
say-
is.
No,
It's
it's not.
what it is.
All right, so you've been saying this for a while.
Because are you
you
a
know-
Mexican or a Jew? I need to know.
Yeah.
Bert's head goes up. You always used to start this by going, "Hey Bert," because you're impersonating Ernie. Like
Bert.
my head is more like Ernie than Bert if it's going to.
Oh, which one's the yellow one?
Is Bert?
I'm not
You're
sure.
Bert, yeah.
My head is so not shaped like Bert.
Let the caliphate see it.
If we pull up, can you pull up a pic of Bert and Ernie, Zach?
And then you take off your hat for the caliphate.
yeah.
Did you go?
Jihaddy with a body. Because
There it is.
Jihaddy with a body, the fans were pissed with you this
Yeah,
week.
but he's a 23-year-old kid, and it's what it is.
Just what it is.
Yeah. It's just he has nothing prepared. I mean, he's just flying by the seat of his pants.
I mean, it's what it is.
It's what it is. But we pay him $50 an episode, and make no mistake, for a 23-year-old kid,
75.
$75.
We
for-
gave him a raise.
Nice country, huh?
$75
baby,
for
huh?
a 23-year-old kid is fucking. He's a millionaire.
Because I think the problem is he has like 18 podcasts.
My
Yeah.
head is so not that. Look at this.
Let's see. I mean, yeah.
Not a chance.
It doesn't look like that.
You look like Bert with those
The
eyebrows.
brows.
Because
Yeah.
the brow
Brows.
and the head. Okay, now take off the
You
hat.
tell me.
Take
he
off the
doesn't-
hat, Bubba.
Tell me Yanni doesn't look more like goddamn Bert. Look at this.
Take it off, Bub. Now, can you move the headphone just a little bit, Bubba?
Oh, Baba.
Yeah,
There it
baby.
is.
Shit. Chris, you really believe this nonsense?
I mean, I don't believe
What do you say, Jihaddy with a body? Can you see it?
I definitely see it.
you could see it.
It's okay, Bubba.
Are you out of your mind that you could see this kid?
I mean, he's
I
got.
so don't look like
You
him.
want to
gotta
know
get
why
an
he
app.
thinks that? Because he has eyes.
I want
up.
Rafael
I hate
DeLuca,
you so much.
Andrew Agos, any of our go-tos, Jeremiah Metzger, to pull up, find a pic of James Mad Dog Mattern, and then get a pic of Ernie. Is it Bert or Ernie? Who's in yellow?
That's Bert.
So
This is going to happen to me
Get
now,
a
huh?
pic of Bert and
The rest of my life.
superimpose glasses on them, and we'll see. We'll be the judge. And we'll put up a poll on at History Hyenas on Instagram, and let the fans decide.
And we're talking to two of you specifically. Andrew Agos.
And Rafael
who's a
DeLuca.
fucking doctor, by
Who's
the
a
way.
doctor who's coming to my Chicago shows. he
And
said.
Jeremiah Metzger.
Metzger, yeah.
Those are the two guys who
Yeah.
do the best work.
They do the best ones, and DeLuca, if you want to make a song about this, you can. Which, by the way, we will be debuting Rafael DeLuca's best work, his new single entitled Wei Shan Qian.
Listen, it's just what it is. Rafael DeLuca is the world's most educated DJ.
That's what it is.
Probably the biggest
Yeah.
slacker in the history of the
Yeah.
United States.
Yeah, Harvard probably would give him his money back so they could just erase his diploma.
How many people went to Harvard to become a DJ? What a fucking waste of a
Yeah.
spot that could have went to an Asian kid.
Yeah. Could have went to anybody. God, you got to love the Asians. Today's going to be a fucking wild episode. We're going to be talking
Because your
about.
daughter loves Asians.
My daughter loves Asians, and she got her first report card, and it's all positive. But the teacher did say that other than outside of her Asian friends, she pushes and is mean to all the rest of the students.
Yeah.
And that's just her Puerto Rican side. It's what it is.
It's what it
or maybe
is.
it's her German side. Who knows?
Listen, on the inside, she always going to be like, stay away from, listen, this my girl Sun Yi. You better stay away from her. I'm here to protect her because I need to put her to this math class. She going to be... She going to it's good to finally have the soundboard back. Jesus
8
Christ.
weeks later.
8 weeks fucking later. Last week, I didn't even know if it was on. He
No.
did the Wei Zhongjings from his iPhone.
Yeah, last week, nobody could hear the podcast because he didn't turn the volume on. And it's just what it is. It's just one of those things that's, I think, lovable about our pod is just how Zach can be a fucking genius and then also a 23-year-old kid.
Yeah, I just need to correct something from last week. I mean, I said something that was extremely franks and beans.
What'd you say?
I said that the Korean War was the only non-proxy war against a communist nation to contain communists, i.e. the domino effect that we were trying to ward off.
Okay.
You know what war I forgot about?
The Cold War.
The fucking Vietnam War.
Oh, yeah.
It's a big one.
Yeah.
And you keep saying the Cold War. The Cold War is not a war. You're a little Franks and Beans
No,
as well.
is.
You have a PhD, but you're fucking Franks and Beans.
The Cold War, but it still was a standoff. It counts.
But it's
No,
called
it's
a
not
Cold War because it was not actually fought. It was just
Exactly.
cold.
Yeah.
It was just
What it is.
Yeah.
Because when your hair's not gelled, you do look like a troll doll, or actually Ernie. Look,
It's gelled right now.
if I know when you look gelled,
Oh.
you're so fucking handsome.
Because you know what it is
Because
with
if
you?
I was a gay kid, I
You
would
know-
like to put my
you know,
dick
you know
on
what's
you.
something I noticed about you, and I've noticed it for a long time now, and I've just been trying to put in the right words.
Yeah.
You're a kid who, since you've been in your mid-20s, is always on the precipice of going bald. You always look like you could start to go bald, but you're not balding. But you always look like you're close.
I know why.
That's why you're close.
'Cause-
you're just always just about to go bald.
But I got a full head of hair.
You have a full head of hair.
Yeah, but it's kind of a little thin, sort of like an 80-year-old guy.
Yeah, but your dad has a full head of hair.
He does.
So you're not ever going to go bald. That's the thing. But it's all about balance with you.
because my dad could not remember that he was part of the Greek battalion, which was at Outpost Harry, and you saw I posted on our Instagram.
Right.
I posted on our Instagram all the credentials,
His Bronze Star.
his Bronze Star and his star from the Greek King, and his service when he left 53.
Yeah, which was Outpost Harry.
He kept saying on the podcast that the Greeks were not at Outpost Harry. Do you remember that? He's
Yeah,
like, no,
it's
they were
funny.
not at Outpost.
It was great podcast fodder. And then coincidentally, I told you this. I was texting you. Coincidentally, when I took my dad always goes because my dad's white trash. He always goes to this to this Dunkin' Donuts in the Highland Boulevard shopping center on Staten Island. So I was there with my dad and my daughter because that's like where he escapes. You know, it's all these old timers that just sit in Dunkin' Donuts. And one of the guys there, forgetting his last name, 80-something-year-old guy, was in the Korean War. So it was just coincidence that he was wearing a Korean War vet hat. And he said he only started wearing the hat a couple years ago because his son demanded he do it. But he's like, I never used to like to talk about it. But he was 20 years old when he went to the Korean War, and he was a tanker. And what he said was, he said, look, he said, a lot of people, what they don't know about war, he said, is, you know, we don't know what we're doing when we get there. He said, we go through a couple of weeks of basic training. He said, but most of the guys who go to war are stupid. He said, I was a stupid guy. I've been a
They're
stupid guy.
fucking stupid. Are they fucking stupid?
He said, I've been stupid my whole life. He said, and they put me in a tank. 20 years old. He said, and they just put me in a tank. He said, so I don't know what I was blowing the shit out of, but I was blowing the shit out of something.
Yeah.
He's like, I was just pressing that cannon button because that's all I knew how to do. He said, if the tank broke or if my gun broke, I didn't know really what to do. He said, and what a lot of people don't know, and you can never know and get from a movie or from anything, he said, is the smell of war. He said, the smell of war has never escaped me at all. He
So
said,
are
because
you
just,
saying-
you
are you-
smell guys shitting yourself, you know, because shitting himself, and also Korean barbecue probably has a scent.
So are you saying that war has fumes?
War has got fumes.
Fumes.
And war is 100% always avoidable.
Yeah. Well,
It's just what it's population control, right?
I don't know if it's 100% avoidable. I think it's just as much as it's avoidable. I think a lot of times it's inevitable.
It's inevitable, true.
Yeah. I mean, like we said it last week on the Freecast. By the way, if you're not a member of the Patreon, I like to sneak it in right in the middle of the episode because at the end, a lot of people just turn it off.
Yeah.
Patreon.com/Bay Ridge Boys.
Mm-hmm.
There's tons of bonus episodes that you need to catch up on. But on the free episode, we said, was the Korean War? Was it a moral war? I mean, the North Koreans attacked the South Koreans and wanted to take over the whole country and make it communism. And as we know now, communism is kind of brutes.
Brutes, my goats.
You know who was a communist?
Who?
Jim Jones.
Well, he was a socialist and a communist.
He was
I
a
guess.
fucking commie bastard,
Yeah.
and he was a true blue psychopath.
TBP.
A little bit.
Yeah, and when we're going to talk about Jim Jones and Jonestown today, and it's weird because there's a couple of similarities between Jim Jones and Chrissy D.
Let's start off by saying the similarities that you noticed. First of all, yeah, you're TBP. We know that.
Yeah?
You got a smaller amygdala, and I posted your brain scan on History Hyenas Instagram.
Yes, and it's what it is.
So what's the similarity?
So the similarities are sexually deviant, number one.
Yeah, you're not so much deviant.
Not deviant, but
You're
like
hypersexual.
Hypersexual is what I meant to. Yeah, I'm not deviant. Hypersexual.
And you like non-committal, promiscuous sex.
Yes.
You like risky sex.
Yes.
Yeah.
But who doesn't? Can I ask that? You always bring that up with him, but like, who isn't into that?
Me.
Like, that's so crazy. To
Yeah.
me. Like, you don't like that thrill of just, let's see how this happens
No,
one time.
I don't have a hole in my soul like you.
Oh, stop.
Here's the
I'm
thing.
sorry. We look like Muppets apparently, so that's what
We're
Muppets
fucking
want to do.
mupped
We
out.
want
Well,
emptiness.
I got a small peanut head. I look like Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
So we're even. None of
And
us.
you're scared of women deep down.
Deep down, I'm scared of women.
Yeah.
But here's the thing about James. We have to. He's very open about it, so it's okay, right? We can talk about it.
I don't know what you're about to
Got a
bring
big
up,
dick?
and I have to leave in like 10
He
minutes.
does got a big glue gun.
Like probably the biggest glue gun of our friends.
Yeah. Hey, Bert. He does look like Ernie. He looks like yeah. He does. He's got a Jewish face as well.
A little bit of Jew face.
He- Now you're on point,
Yeah.
Jihaddy. Now here's the thing: the reason why we don't know whether James. Come on, this is good fodder for the matriarchy.
Can we talk about this?
Can we talk about it? Of course we can.
Please.
All right.
The reason why we don't know if James is Mexican or Jewish
His mom was a toot.
My mom was a dude.
That's,
yeah,
It's
he's not
just what
saying
it
it
is.
as an insult. He's not saying. He's saying it's what it is.
it's
It
what
is
it
what it
is.
is.
His mom
There's
was-
facts of life.
yeah. His mom was an actual toot. I mean,
Yeah, for real
professional
toot.
toot.
High end. High end.
High-end
High-end
professional toot.
Yeah.
So your dad could be anybody from Steve Wynn, to fucking, to who knows, to
If it was Steve Wynn, that would make sense because my grandpa used to run food and beverage for Steve Wynn and told him to go fuck himself at one point. So that would add a little more insult
Yeah.
to him walking away from being a potential
you have
millionaire.
one of the most interesting lives of anyone I've ever met. Mom was a toot, and grandparents were Hitler Youth.
They were not hit. All right,
Grandmother.
my grandma was because she was in Germany and 10. And so there was no option. I love it. These guys will tease me when we're walking the water in Bay Ridge and be like my grandma could like check a box, Hitler Youth or other. Like you had to go and wear that stupid uniform.
No choice. And interestingly enough, bringing that Hitler Youth up, brings me to the second identifying characteristic of me and Jim Jones is Jim Jones. When he was born in 1931, so World War II. He was 10, 11, 12 years old,
Yes.
sometime in there. And all the kids in Indiana, the town he was from in Indiana, would make believe, as all the kids would across the United States, that they were going to be Allied soldiers. They would play, the game of war, and they're all Allied soldiers, except one. Jim Jones envisioned he was Hitler and got turned on and got the chills from Hitler's speeches, as I have been known to do a time or two watching Hitler on
Zach,
YouTube.
can I just get a few Wei Shang Xings, please?
微商吸引，
Jesus Christ!
微商吸引。
No. I'm not pro Hitler.
You get the chills listening to him speak.
Not
cuz.
no. But everybody, it's literally. But you have to. There's nothing to admire about Hitler. But the kid could speak and sell tickets.
The kid definitely
That's
did.
all I'm saying.
He filled seats.
Yeah, Jim Jones actually liked Hitler. I fucking despise Hitler, but I have to admit the kid could sell some tickets.
It is what it is.
He didn't like Hitler's. Well, yeah, he probably did.
He
deep
liked
down.
Hitler. He made believe he was Hitler.
He studied all the big guys: Stalin, Marx, Hitler, all the guys who stood out or sold tickets or really were leaders. He was obsessed with those
Sold
guys.
tickets.
I mean, from a young age, he was a true blue psychopath. We'll get into that.
Because make no mistake, if Hitler was alive right now, he'd have a pretty big Patreon.
He would have a nice podcast.
Yeah.
Because his podcast
would be fucking
his
wild.
podcast would be wild. Can you imagine Hitler's fucking podcast?
Mein Kampf Weekly?
Yeah.
It'd be pretty huge,
I'd produce
unfortunately.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would.
Jihaddy
Yeah.
with a body would produce it.
That would be funny. Jihaddy with a body fucks up Hitler's audio.
Yeah.
Now, yeah. So this is interesting stuff. James's mother was an actual toot. Now, what we do know is that James's mother did spend some time in Mexico.
Yes. She
Around
ran
the
away to
time.
Mexico, yes.
Yeah, she
While
ran.
she was pregnant with you.
We don't know the timeline. There's speculation she was knocked up and went there. There's speculation she came back knocked up.
She never
brought a
told you.
Mexican
She never
dude.
came clean with you.
She once cried when this all kind of came out. She started bawling to me. It's like, I don't know who your father is. While me, her, and my stepdad at the time were about to watch a WCW pay-per-view.
Oh, beautiful.
So it got awkward, and then we watched Dean Malenko and Rey Mysterio and forgot all about it.
Because you have no brothers and sisters, no biological brothers and sisters.
That I know of, no, but there's probably all kinds of chaos going on. I probably slept with a relative by this point.
Now,
what it is.
he's from Vegas, so truth be told, his story is actually a pretty normal story for somebody born in Vegas.
And what thing, an
I
admirable
mean,
thing.
you know nothing of Vegas, Jon Snow.
I mean, Vegas is a wild place.
The thing about the dog that's the most admirable to me is that the childhood he had, which from all accounts was a very good childhood, but still to deal with the demons that you have to deal with, that you never turn to drugs and alcohol to escape that pain, just shows how strong of a guy you actually are.
Yeah, you
Well,
are.
like my
very
family was like the mom was a drug addict. You
Yeah,
know?
your mom-
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's all in you. You had all the reasons to do it, and you never did. So it's just pure strength.
Yeah, that's you and willpower, and also your Nazi grandmother who raised you.
Yeah.
Which is so much
was
Yeah.
very
passion of
strong, and
Yeah.
she instilled in you a work ethic.
Yeah.
That's also comes from Ridgewood, from Stammschiss.
Zoom Stammtisch is individual.
So your grandmother, did she talk like this when she spoke to
Did
you?
you speak like this?
Hi, James. Listen, I know you're moving to New York City. And from what I understand, there's a lot of Jews that live there. Now, I never had anything wrong with the Jews. But Hitler, he did a lot of good things for Germany at the beginning. How many times did you hear that as a child, that it started off good?
So
Yeah.
this is what's crazy is like I'm going to meet up with like my family whose
Right now.
mother was my grandma, and so we were talking about it last night as we we're throwing.
You
back
guys
some
say hello
fights.
like this
Yeah,
a little
we-
bit?
We say hello like
Hail.
that. I hate you so much.
I love the formal, the quick one. They just
Yeah.
have that quick one.
Yeah.
Don't got time for the whole, just like,
Yeah.
that's for when there's a lot of people, you just throw that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just, hey.
So my grandma was visiting her grandma, and she was going to meet up with a friend at the movies. And then on my grandma's like, you got to hang out with me today. I need you to do this. And so she missed the movies. And that's lucky because the Allies bombed the movie theater and her friend died.
Yeah.
How about that?
Those dirty fucking
We actually
allies,
talked about
right?
that last Those,
I mean, Zach, can we get one, please?
微上吸引
I mean, you might as well just man that button when Chrissy opens his mouth.
Yeah.
Whenever you see head movement like he's about to talk, just get your finger fucking ready.
Yeah.
So that's the story of James Mad Dog Mattern. His grandmother was a Nazi.
Jesus Christ, will you not? She wasn't a Nazi.
She was a Hitler Youth. You
So
can't get
bottom
more of
line
a
is-
Nazi than that.
bottom
because
line
you
is-
would have been too. If you were born
Here's-
there, you would have had
listen.
no option.
So bottom line is
Either that or
Mad
you become
Dog.
glue.
Bottom line is Mad Dog is an adopted Mexican Nazi. In a nutshell.
I'm glad I'm up for a Disney job and I showed up on this. 20 minutes of
Oh,
this
it doesn't
shit.
matter, Bubbas.
Yeah.
We're gonna get that fucking Disney job one way or another.
Inglorious
baby.
bastards over here.
Yeah, listen, if we get the Patreon, first of all, if we get the Patreon to 1,000,
Right?
we made it. Chris sent me a photo of his feet, which are unbelievable. And actually, my fiance's father is a chief podiatrist.
Mm-hmm.
So we made a video. Me and my fiance made a video of us showing her father Chris's feet and diagnosing his feet.
Yeah.
And it is fucking
He
hysterical.
said my feet are dislocated.
Don't give it away, cuz.
God.
Jesus fucking Christ.
That's what it's what.
wild.
Yeah, we want to make him fucking pay for it.
Yeah, because the video's not that great, so we got to do another video. Yeah. That's why I gave it away. It's just got no pop.
It's
till
got
the
no
end.
pop?
Because Brittany's, your fiance's dad is just a fucking noble guy, and he didn't say anything funny.
Yeah, that's true.
He was just technical about it. You only got funny at the end.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's true. But here's
But
the deal.
I'm going to send out a picture if we get to 400, as Chris the teacher reminded us of my remote dick. We're going to post that on
we'll
Patreon.
but if we get to 1,000, I will put your fucking broken, deformed Franks and Beans feet in my mouth.
Yeah.
And we'll make a video of it.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen.
1,000.
1,000 patrons.
We're at, what are we at? Three something.
367, I believe.
367.
And we got I know a few more joined, which we'll read your names at the end of the podcast. That's what we do. If you join our Patreon, patreon.com/Bay Ridge Boys, we read out your name aloud on this podcast at the end of every podcast. So,
And if we get to 5,000, we will sacrifice James.
yes.
Burn him at the stake for being a fucking Nazi.
I think I'm a witch.
Yes.
I think you're a Nazi.
I'd be a good witch. You should
Bubbas.
burn me.
Do you wear the sweatshirt I bought you, Bubbas? The Vegas
I do.
Night sweatshirt?
I sleep in it, and I sleep with peace.
Now, you banged out a girl at Fumes last night.
Maybe.
That's what it is. It happens, baby.
Yeah.
You know?
You know
can't
what it
win
is?
them all. It's a fucking price of doing business.
Cost of doing business.
Cost of
Sometimes it
doing
happens,
business.
baby.
That's it.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
That's what it is. You gloved up, right? So you're good to go.
Oh, baby, I gloved up my glove.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
You
Gotta
can,
double bag it.
I was going to say you double bag it sometimes, right?
It's
not-
I learned the hard way, Bubbas.
You can't. What do you mean?
Sometimes you get a little bit, baby.
You got bit?
No, but sometimes things get a little weird. I'm such a hypochondriac. Like, if I get a rash within like a month of raw dogging any girl, like even if it's like on my arm, I'm convinced I got something. So
But-
I just stopped raw dogging.
But I think if you double bag it, the friction. I heard that the friction gets higher and you have a better chance of breaking through. Is that true?
Break on through to the other side, baby.
Now, can you only use magnums? What do you use? Because you got a fucking sweet piece.
I use the purple Trojans.
Your dick looks like a sweet potato.
This is hilarious. People don't even know how you even know. Like, no one's actually seen my penis here.
Yeah.
You only seen it through underwear
Well, we
once.
see. Yeah, that's all we need to see it through.
Well, there was a period. You know what would be funny? A comedian sex tape.
Yeah.
It would just be so neurotic. They'd be like, "Can you just turn the lights off?" He'd be like, "I'm having trouble getting wood."
Yeah.
There was a whole time where James could not. He was having problems
You
with.
thought he
his
was
glue.
gay.
He thought he was gay, but then he
Jesus Christ.
couldn't get the glue out of his gun.
What do you mean?
He just couldn't
No, I
bust.
couldn't.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
For how long, dog?
psychologically, he just couldn't get it out.
How long did that last?
I don't know, about 36 years.
No, seriously. How long
No,
could you
yeah,
not?
I think
Even when you were stroking it, you couldn't get the
Well,
glue
Let
out?
me just
Stroking
say
it, yeah.
this: he's a very strong kid. He's
Yeah.
got a strong will, and he's one of the strongest people I know.
I sense a butt coming.
But your mom being a toot and a drug addict is going to leave a couple of marks.
Yeah.
You're not going to get away unscathed.
Yeah, it's going to be a hole. I mean, it's going to. But,
No, I'm
but we
saying-
all got holes.
One of the things that comes with that is a little obsessiveness.
Of course, OCD. Yeah.
So he's got a little OCD. So he started having the thought, and then the thought becomes obsessive, and then the glue just doesn't come out.
Dog is so smart. Dog is so smart with certain things. He's almost autistic.
Yeah, he is.
It's like he's on the spectrum of. I mean, the fact that you can just real. I know you have to go. I know you have to go. But just real quick, just for the next minute, can you just tell us the Super Bowl winning quarterback since 1973?
Go.
Since 73?
Yeah.
I can't anymore.
83,
Bebas, come on.
83,
Dude,
that was
from
Jim
80
Plunkett.
87.
87 was Doug Williams.
92,
92 was Troy Aikman.
Wow.
99,
99 was Kurt Warner.
Holy
2008.
That gets a little hairy. Oh, Eli Manning.
Come on,
Yeah,
Bubbas.
Yeah.
2013.
Shit. I struggle more with the recents because I just forget. Let's see. It's
Because that year you were struggling with your
I
glue
was
gun.
struggling with the. I was running
Glue
to the
gun
bathroom,
was-
seeing if I could get lift to gay guys
Yeah,
to see
yeah.
if I was a homosexual.
I mean,
UNLV alum right here. You're
UNLV,
run-
well, yeah,
running Rebels,
Guilty.
baby. Alum. You graduated.
yeah. I'm one of 8. Yeah, I like to call it the Harvard of the desert,
who won?
Yes.
Who won WrestleMania in 1991?
like the whole WrestleMania.
I don't know.
The main event.
Yeah, main
Let's
event.
see. Main event of '91 was Hulk Hogan versus Sergeant Slaughter.
Yeah, I mean that's Franks and Beans right here. We're talking Franks and Beans.
Yeah, it's just Frank's and Beans.
Cause that's a nice jacket.
You like this jacket?
I do.
Yeah, I didn't pay for it.
Where'd you get it from? Comedy Central.
Can I ask a
Just
question?
gives me things.
Yes.
The fact that you ask a question and then in the middle of it go to his jacket, is that a little Frank Sabine?
Well, it's a little hyenas because
It's
the
a-
second word is just we're hyenas and we have no plan. We just go.
Did you see that picture on the Instagram that I posted of a hyena on a golf course in Africa?
Yeah, it
How
was
fucking funny is that?
10 out of 10.
Yeah. Imagine you're just playing golf and there's just a hyena on hole 17.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is.
It's what it is, cuz.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
we're losing the dog, right?
I gotta go
No,
meet up
come
with my
on, Bubba.
family.
We're just about to talk about Jonestown.
I know, but I'm sorry. This is the greatest show ever. I'll
Show
come
the
back.
people your glue gun.
Yeah, let's do it right now. That's how I say goodbye.
Yeah.
Thanks
Come
for
on.
having me, guys.
Of course.
Yeah.
What's up tonight? Are you going to meet us tonight?
Yeah, well, you guys are going to go back to
We're going
Bay
to
Ridge. I'm with the
Salty Dog,
family.
baby,
You guys
at Bay
got to hang out
Ridge.
with the family. Just
No,
come back
but
to
what-
the city.
We're
You
going
got
to
to meet the
Salty Dog.
family and be
No,
like, "Hey, I heard that your grandma used to greet you guys with the hail."
Because
See
how
that
wild
flies.
you were raised by a woman who
I hate you so much.
had actually hailed Hitler before.
Yeah.
For real.
hailed Hitler.
In Germany.
Well, she was a Nazi
She
youth.
was a Nazi youth.
She was a
Hitler youth.
because that was the Boy Scouts.
But I'm just saying she did do this.
But she still had to do that
She
as part of the
did
Hitler
that.
Youth.
This is the
She
worst.
earned it.
It is what it is.
It's just the truth.
It's the truth, man. That's fucking wild. Now
Now,
tell
we're also going to post a picture of you. Also, I just want to let everyone know we're going to post a picture of you on the Instagram, and we're going to do a poll if you're Mexican or Jewish. We're
Yeah.
going to see what people think off one look.
Yeah,
if that's all right with you, Bubbas.
you
Here, we're going to take a picture of you right now.
yeah, and we have to do
No, you look
ancestry.
fucking
This
great right
cost
now.
me a job.
You
I'm
do
never
look good.
speaking to you.
You're not
It'll
gonna-
never cost you a
It
job.
never
Bubbas.
cost you a job. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, it did. Sometimes it is what it is.
There it is. We
Yeah.
got the best pick. We got a good pick. Look at that.
Yeah, and look
Also, we got the dog.
Yeah, and the dog has no butt.
Yeah, the
if
dog.
I have no butt, the dog.
I got told I have a booty.
No,
'Cause
Bubbas, you
I
got
was
no
getting a
butt.
massage, and this girl
Your
goes,
pants-
"You work out?" She grabbed
Yeah.
my booty.
You can't even keep your pants up because your butts. You
Yeah.
have an old man's butt.
We've seen your ass crack a bunch, and I don't mind it, but we've
Yeah.
seen it a lot. And I tell you, I can verify, got no butt.
Sometimes my booty hole likes to say hello to everybody.
You're
That's
fucking.
what it is.
Who do you think's hairier, Jihaddy with a body or fucking glue gun?
If you're gonna handicap
Captain
it.
Glue Gun.
Glue.
Hey, Bert.
Maybe glue gun. I don't know, but dog's older, so glue gun will. Jihaddy with a body will be hairier than glue gun
I
at
mean-
some point.
Well, you don't keep progressing in hair.
Oh, you don't?
I don't know. If he's 23, that's probably the prime of your hairdom.
Yeah.
It's not like you're gonna. It's not like you're gonna peak at 31 of hair. It's not like.
Yeah, that's true too.
It's not like a baseball pitcher.
23. That's young for a Muslim, right?
Yeah.
What
it's
do you
young.
you wait till 63 and then you're gonna marry a 13-year-old, correct?
How does it work?
A couple.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
That's what it is.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Now, dog, what religion are you? Real quick before we go, what would you say you are?
Hey, Bert.
I was raised Catholic,
You were raised Catholic.
but I'm an agnostic. I guess I would say
Okay.
that fashionable
Fair enough.
term.
Yeah.
Fair enough, Bubbas. You gonna go on a
Start
cruise
with
now?
Buddhism. Yeah, I gotta meet with my aunts.
Is it like one of those dinner cruise kind of things?
No dinner. We're just gonna have cocktails, see everything, and then I think we'll get you some pizza and drinks later
Where you getting the boat? 23rd Street?
on like 43rd.
Oh, okay. It's gonna be nice.
Buddy, it's gonna be classy.
Uncle Bill.
No, not Uncle Bill. We don't talk to him no more.
Oh, fuck him.
What happened to Uncle William?
He's got problems, bro.
Is he from Rochester? You got family in Rochester.
He was born, I think, in Reno.
I know a girl in Rochester's got the biggest tits you've ever seen in your life.
Get out of here.
Yes.
And you've seen a lot of tits.
Yeah, she's got big.
They stand out from all.
She's got big bombs.
Yeah.
Rochester's known for like
But she's Indian,
pancake
so she
boobies.
probably has
yeah.
fumes. Uh-oh. Here we go. There it is.
Hey, what'd that asshole say?
2653. Guess that part.
Yeah. Well, okay. Good to see you, dog.
Good to see you, dog. Love
Hey,
as
Bert.
always,
You guys are the
Bubba.
best.
Good to see you.
We're gonna have breakfast
Bert.
tomorrow or what?
I'll see you.
Come on, hit me up.
Yeah.
We'll go to the
cuz.
diner. I'd love to fucking buy you I'd love to take you to Tim Hortons. You ever go to Tim Hortons?
It's in. That's
Never
Canadian.
There's one in Staten Island.
There's one in Staten Island.
Yeah, right on fucking Staten Island, cuz.
That's appropriate because Staten Island
Hey, Bert.
for New Yorkers. Staten Island. Take care, dog.
I'll see you later, baby.
Staten Island is kind of like another country.
What a fucking gem of a human being
He
the
is.
dog is. The dog's one of those guys, like you've said multiple times, Giannis, if somebody dies, he'll be sad for the rest of his life. He'll come to your funeral and he'll be sad. He'll visit your grave.
He's got a pure heart.
Pure.
He's a pure heart. He's golden. He's a good. He's
got a pure
just a
heart.
good kid.
What happened?
My hand is freezing for some reason.
What do you mean?
I don't know. It's like a cramp.
You got no blood flow going in your hand?
Yeah.
It's just what it is because
It's
it's
what
starting
it
to get
is.
old. Yeah. You're getting nervous again. Your anxiety's starting to get the best of you again.
Yeah.
It's just what it is. What do you mean your hand? So explain to me what's going on.
It's just getting heavy. It's like look what's happening.
What do you mean?
What is that?
What do you mean it's getting heavy?
I don't know. It's getting numb. Something.
Nothing's happening. Can you go like this? Wiggle your fingers. Yeah, look at that. You're good. You're good. Wiggle your fingers.
I
like
don't
that.
know.
Yeah,
Do I look jacked out?
you do look jacked. I gotta
Zach-
take a fucking piss. I would say pause the podcast, but I know that it will not be paused.
Yeah. Well, we got Jim. We got to talk about Jim Jones this week.
Which, by the way, Jim Jones is a fucking psychopath. Not a sociopath, a psychopath, I'd say. From fucking Indiana. There we go. See, now that's a tough one. If you guys can guess that one, I'll give you guys, it'll be great. Guess that fart. That was at 28:48 of the podcast.
Yeah.
You're the one who told me to watch this because I knew about Jim Jones, and I did used to have sex with a girl who was from Guyana, and she was a piece. So that's how I know about Jonestown.
Guyana is the only country in South America where they speak English, I believe.
Wild.
Yeah.
Only one where English is the main language.
Yeah.
Why is that? Does anybody know why that is?
It's for another episode.
Who knows? So that means the answer was we don't know.
We don't know. We don't know. Whenever it's for another episode, that's just a nice way of saying we have no idea.
And he's one of those guys. He was a cult leader, but it always starts off small. It always starts off like, no, just listen to me do this. He was a complete fucking power obsessed man. Like he needed to have the power.
Well, he's definitely a psychopath. 'Cause let's talk about his childhood. He used to have funerals for roadkill,
Wild.
and he also used to torture animals.
Did
when
he
was
torture
little.
animals, or he just have funerals for them?
No, he'd also torture a few.
Okay, so that's a
Yeah,
psychopath trait.
That's just what they do.
He embodied. He used to make believe he was Hitler during World War II in
Yeah.
Indiana, which is a fucking wild thing to do.
Because people from Indiana is just, there's a lot of wild people that come out of Indiana.
Indianapolis, well, it's the birthplace of the Ku Klux Klan.
Yeah.
Indianapolis is one of those cities that, like, you know, you have to be polite about it and be like, oh, I like that city, but it's like nothing happens there.
Yeah.
It's kind of just brutes and goats. And if anyone's from Indianapolis, I know I've been in your city a few times. I'm happy that it's part of the United States, but it's just the most brutal big city I've ever been to in the United States. I can't think. It's actually a city where I just don't want to go back.
Really?
I do not. I don't have a good time doing comedy there. I don't have a good time being there ever.
Wow.
I do not like it at all.
It doesn't sound like you're going to be invited back to. That's one of the best clubs.
Which one? Crackers?
In Indianapolis. No,
No.
that's not. That's
Minneapolis is Acme. That's different.
Oh, so you just hate fucking Indiana.
I did not have a good time there at all. They were relatively racist. It was a very boring, spread out city. It's just one of those like secondary cities that people try to justify and like, oh, this city's better than New York. It's like the answer's no.
No.
It's just a clear no. But anybody who's listening from Indianapolis, I appreciate your loyalty. But Jim Jones, yeah, he was from Indiana, and it's just a lot of fucking weirdos come out of Indiana because it's just one of those states.
It's so landlocked. You're so in the middle. You're so
Yeah.
far from being connected to the rest of the world.
Through
You're not near
nature,
any
yeah.
water. So landlocked in the middle. You just you feel claustrophobic in there.
Yeah.
It's kind of south, but also kind of Midwest. They're
Yeah.
a little bit of both.
Yeah.
And
3140.
Jim Jones.
Guess it.
I don't know what rock you've been living under, but everyone probably knows Jim Jones.
Some of the kids, some of our
we're not talking about the rapper Jim
yeah, I
Jones.
was going to say it depends because some of our Patreon members and just people listening to the free one may just think it's the rapper Jim Jones.
Yeah, no, we're talking about the cult leader Jim Jones.
Yes.
Now this kid, he started in Indiana. What was it called? The People's Temple.
The People's Temple.
People's Temple. So he started in Indiana. He was born in Crete, Indiana.
Wow,
Which
what
is
a connection to you.
the name of the island that my mother's from. Crete.
Crete.
And then he moved to, how about this? Connection to you. Lynn, Indiana.
Yeah.
How wild is that?
Fucking wild.
He grew up in Lynn, Indiana.
My mom's name is Lynn.
Why is there a Crete, Indiana and a Lynn, Indiana?
For our podcast. That's why.
That's
was
what
to
it
bring
is.
us together. And cuz, make no mistake, I think what it's trying to say is we need to fucking resurrect the People's Temple.
Well, we got to explain why Lynn is connected to you.
Because that's my mother's name.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my
We've
mother
yeah.
saved my life.
And Lynn, as we know,
Yeah.
likes to have
A
few brews.
And make no mistake, if you knock on Lynn's door, she will offer you a brew and an Entenmann's cake. It's what it is.
It's just what it is.
It's just what it is when you're a white working class lady from Queens, New York.
Yeah. She respects you as long as you're not on welfare.
Yeah, it's just what it is. What does her tax dollars have to pay for people being lazy? Yeah.
So Jim Jones, he was always obsessed with religion. He was obsessed as a young kid with these charismatic leaders, Stalin,
Yes.
Hitler. He studied them, got great grades, graduated early with honors.
Yep.
Ended up going to graduate from high school, and then I think he went to Butler for a little bit.
Make no mistake, you can't be a leader, evil or good, and and start a cult and do things like that if you're not a very intelligent human being. It's just, do you use your smarts for good or evil?
Yeah, well, he's a psychopath.
But he's a smart.
psychopaths usually are.
His IQ, I'm sure, was above average.
Yeah, I mean, he graduated with honors easily.
Mm-hmm. Not racist either.
That's the thing.
Not racist at all.
That's what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
I mean, even like James told me, his grandmother said, that Hitler at the beginning did a lot of good things.
Right.
Which he probably did. But that almost seems part of the plan for psychopaths.
Absolutely.
That's how they kind of win people over.
They reel you in.
They reel you in, so it's like, it's perfunctory. It's not. It's not.
If you
it's
say
for show.
perfunctory again, I'm gonna punch you in the face.
Yeah, you've just had enough of me, haven't you? Yeah, you just had enough.
Perfunctory.
Because make no mistake, your mom just likes that you hang out with me because I don't have a shaved part in my head.
That's what it is.
That's all she wants for her son.
All she ever wanted was at least one friend to have a 4-year degree, not an associate. And you're my only friend that has that. And Lukash.
Yeah.
Lukash is an ER doctor.
Yeah, cuz, I mean, we'll do what we can. Like, I'll try my best for Lynn to try to make you cultured. I'll take you to a museum or whatever. But at the end of the day, it is what it is.
It's what it is.
So, Jim Jones started preaching, moved tickets.
Sold a lot of tickets.
Kid could speak.
These guys always sell tickets.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have the charisma to speak, you're not going to be able to become a cult leader or the leader of a country. A lot of it, you know what I've realized by doing all this research for Jonestown? Is like charisma is most of it. The world is mostly, like Shakespeare said, the world's a stage.
Yes.
And all these people, even like you were talking about, you see newscasters, things like that. It's all a show.
Absolutely.
Most of this world is a show.
Absolutely.
And people are putting on a performance. It's not really who they are. They're doing it for self-aggrandizement, to be recognized, to move tickets, to give you false hope, to make. He's selling hope. You know what I mean? That he's selling hope to you, but it's for him to get bigger. That's why he moved to San Francisco. He went to California. He left Indiana because Indiana wasn't big enough for him. He wanted recognition.
Like you said earlier today when we were walking, very few people have integrity. It's very, very small percentage of people have true integrity.
True integrity is, I mean, I think
we probably don't have it.
No, I just think very few people have integrity. Very few people are bribable.
Right.
I mean, are not bribable.
Are not bribable. Right.
Yeah, most people will just accept a bribe. And a bribe, what I mean by a bribe is a bribe doesn't always come in like, hey, this is a bribe. I mean, like, people will offer you money in a salary or whatever, and you'll just take it.
Sure.
You know what I mean? You know, it's just what it is.
It's just what it is.
Like, if you're a CEO of a company, it's like, and people are like, hey, man, you got to pay workers more. He's like, hey, yeah, I'll give you. You know, people are starting to listen to you. How about I make you one of my guys and I'll pay you? That guy's going to shut up.
It's just what
He's
it is.
just going to take the dough. It's what it is. And that's what these cult leaders are so good at. They're so good at. And with Jim Jones, you notice he was very good at just sort of testing people's loyalty to him.
Yeah.
Finding out who was going to be the most loyal.
Tell him some fucking things that he did.
Oh, my God. Well, first of all, so he got bigger and bigger. Actually, when he was in San Francisco too, met with a lot of like very important people. Like, you know, he
He got invited to fucking President Jimmy
Carter's wife.
Carter's inauguration.
Yeah. So he was
why can I not think of Carter? I have early onset.
No, a lot of people just overlook Carter, who ended up as
people say he was a Brutes Magoots Prez.
Yeah, they do. But a lot of that was because of the Iran hostage situation.
Yeah, they all those guys got killed in the Olympics.
Yeah, that was rough for him. Though, well, it wasn't the Olympics.
Wasn't it the Olympics?
Was that the Olympics?
I thought it was during the Olympics. I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong. I have to pee, so you're just gonna have to talk to Zach for a second.
Well, should we pause it?
No, well, yes, but it's not gonna happen. It's
all
just I have chlamydia. That's why.
That's what it is. So Jim Jones, fucking wild. He ended up a guy with integrity ended up dying at the end. Congressman Leo Ryan, which is wild. But before we get there, we'll skip forward. Jim Jones ends up in Guyana with about 1,000 followers. They do the whole Bhagwan thing, Wild Wild Country documentary. We talked about it. Did we do an episode about Wild Wild Country? We did, right?
I don't think we've done a whole episode.
But we
definitely
talked
brought
about
up-
it.
Yeah.
So they form a fucking, same shit, cult, living off the land. They form their own Jonestown. It's called Jonestown, just like the Bhagwan, whatever that shit was called. I can't remember. And they're all living off the land and praying. And, of course, there's a dark underbelly to the whole thing where he's watching everybody, He's got snitches everywhere, controlling people, beating them up, abuses. He separates all the families. I think there's about 300 children living down there, too. He separates all families, so he has other people raise other people's kids. He doesn't want the actual mothers and fathers raising their actual kids. And he says, there's no more mothers and fathers. I'm your father, and my wife is your mother. He had a wife who he cheated on all the time. He used to fuck all the girls. Of course, these cults, the guys are always just fucking running through the puss, saying, like, this is good. This is what Jesus would want. And he was a full-blown communist. So that's what he started saying. Socialism, communism. So everyone was just living off the land and sharing everything and working, and everyone called him father and his wife mother, and nobody was raising their own kids.
Because he believed, Jim Jones said that he believed that the most disgusting thing was family, was that you are connected to your family just because you're born. So that was all a ploy, though, so he wanted to be the father.
Yeah, I mean, this guy was such a psychopath and so manipulative.
He was gross.
Yeah, and it just made me realize how stupid people are.
Absolutely.
Fucking stupid.
Stupid.
He,
Well, stupid, and it just makes how fragile, like, the human psyche is, because most people just want to be told what to do. Did you talk about your point about laziness?
Not yet, no.
It's fucking a good point, cuz.
Yeah.
You had a lot of time to think this weekend.
I did have a lot of time to think.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I've realized when you look at these cults and things is the reason why people easily fall prey to these things is so often because people deep down have a need for things to be easy.
Absolutely.
Which isn't a bad thing necessarily, because we talked about that. The reason our species has evolved is because of laziness in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Certain people are working very hard to do things, and then
Right.
some lazy guy who's smart comes along and says, let me figure out a way to make this easier so we don't have to work as much. All inventions are about convenience. Working
Right.
less, making it more convenient, more efficient. And the people who do that are usually smart, lazy people. People who don't want to work.
Yeah.
People are like, let me think outside the box and figure out a way to make this easier for everybody.
Right.
So there is something deeply rooted in our brain where we're trying to figure out an easier way to do things.
It's a good point.
So I'm saying it has an evolutionary purpose. So I think we all have that in us, but we don't have the big brains to go with that. So I think the downside, the bag ass, the dark side of that, if you will, is that we're all looking for an easy way. We're all susceptible to someone going, hey, I figured it out. Follow me and things will be easier. I figured it out. There'll be no pain. I'll take care of you. Here's the answers.
Right.
And so people just get attracted to that because of that deep-rooted evolutionary thing of, hey, here's an easier way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's the same reason why people gamble. It's like nobody wants to work for the money.
Right.
That's what gambling appeals to, is that laziness in us where it's like, this money is won. I didn't have to work for it. There's a thrill in that. There's a high in that.
Right. Right.
So I think that's the reason why people are attracted to cult leaders. Laziness.
But there is also a degree, I think, if you scanned most of the people at Jonestown, certainly some of them were smart. I would think that majority of their IQ would be lower, and majority of them would not have been well off. I would think that most of those people who drank that Kool-Aid and killed themselves had a below average IQ or close to a below average IQ.
Probably.
I don't know if that's the fact. It's just a guess.
Or probably average.
Because a lot of people left that cult, and those people were, a little bit smarter, I felt like, because they noticed quickly. Now, granted, some people just couldn't leave, and maybe they felt trapped, but just to be that impressionable usually when you're that impressionable, it correlates with some degree of a lower
Being
IQ.
fucking stupid.
Stupid.
Yeah, or just average IQ.
Yeah.
And you just manipulated and scared a little bit as you
Yeah.
get deeper into it.
Yeah, it's not going to work on everybody. I think most people were like, Jim Jones, you're a kook.
But, what he did is on just a smaller scale. It's just a microcosm of what people, what dictators do with states.
Yeah.
So all those people aren't stupid.
Because make no mistake,
Yeah.
we can see it now as like an easy cult, and and Jim Jones was on drugs and stuff like that. But if you go back in history, like that's what people thought Jesus was. They thought he was like a Jim Jones guy, and that's why they killed him. Because the people of the time, at that time, thought this guy's a cult leader. That's why he was crucified.
Not to digress too much, but why don't you tell the people about what you read about?
What?
And Lynn, I apologize in advance.
What do you mean?
What you found out about Christianity?
What did I find out?
That it was a story he made up to control
That was a
the people.
story that I read an article that Christianity was a story that was made up to control black people.
Where'd you read that?
That's what I read on Facebook.
Are you sure that this wasn't Breitbart? No,
Might have
they
been
would be for
Breitbart.
it.
I mean, it was one of the funny. I mean, the depths that people will go to. I mean, when I was reading that
no,
article,
I thought you said you read something that goes back even further. It was you sent me an article
yeah,
about the Jews and how the Jews were at the time, people who were constantly revolting against the Romans.
yes. So in order to control that, the Romans created Christianity.
Yeah.
They created it.
Yeah.
They as just a thing to like corral certain Jews, and they did it, and they also did it to control not African Americans, control Africans because they were starting to rise up
in Rome.
in Rome and like
Where were the Africans in
territories.
Rome?
Well,
Oh,
I
in
guess
North
Carthage,
Africa.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to do a separate episode.
Yeah, 'cause
Whenever we say we have to do a separate episode, it's like we don't know what we're talking about.
But it's funny to speculate.
And we don't even know what we're talking about when we research for the thing we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because make no mistake, I was trying to watch the Jim Jones documentary to get fodder for the podcast, and Giannis came over and just talked about nothing. And I couldn't concentrate because
Yeah.
Giannis just had too much coffee from the Koreans up the street and was just pacing on and off my beanbags around my kitchen counter, which is cute, with a sweatshirt that was unzipped with no shirt underneath, and it was gross.
It is what it is.
Yeah, I just basically threw that sweatshirt on to just go get cough.
Yeah,
and I
'cause-
threw on boots.
Cause
Rain boots.
with windbreakers.
Because this morning I looked like a person who was going insane with the outfit that I had on.
yeah,
I had rain boots on with workout pants, a zip-up sweatshirt with no shirt underneath, and then a nice long pea coat.
Yeah, you're just a fucking good hang. It's what it is.
It's what it is.
yeah.
So the People's Temple got huge. They ended up moving to Guyana. Fucking Jim Jones was a wild kid.
Yeah.
He faked his own death, which is wild. He used blanks, pretend like he was shot, had fake blood, and then told the people he healed himself, and they fucking believed him.
Wild.
So you're right, they're fucking stupid.
Stupid, just like a woman who claimed that she broke her leg and then he broke the cast off and she ran around the church and the people went fucking nuts. The woman never broke her leg.
No, but what he did was this is how maniacal and psychopathic
And manipulative
Jim Jones was and how smart.
And before we go any further, I just want to let the podcast know and say it out loud to the matriarchy. And if you're not part of the matriarchy, go to patreon.com/BayRidgeBoys and join the matriarchy. We all know, Zach Jihaddy with Body, myself, and all of our glorious members of the matriarchy know that you have Jim Jones inside of you, and you can, if I wasn't in your life and if the matriarchy wasn't in your life to stop it, we know for a fact you would at some point send out a mass email to the Patreon and tell us to join Jonestown in Greece. and you would be giving out little things of olive oil and saying, just drink this and your life will be complete. And we're here to let you know that we won't do it as long as I'm alive.
Yeah. But I don't have it in me. I'm not a bad kid.
But you want to control.
No.
You want to be in control.
I do like being in control.
Right. Right. You wouldn't make no mistake. You would have a few members who would join regardless. Andragos, Chris the Teacher, Jen Bakakis, Rafa Dulka. These guys would join and jump off the cliff with you. The blacks would not follow you. It just wouldn't happen. Our black members of the main truck would not follow you. They would say, "Nah, this motherfucker crazy."
Well, if you look at Jonestown, a lot of them did.
A lot of them are black.
Because make no mistake, Jim Jones started off saying a lot of great things.
He was open to diversity.
About equality.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a whole rainbow. He called it, what was it, Rainbow Family?
Yeah, the Rainbow
Family. So he
Family.
adopted a bunch of Korean kids.
Yeah, every member of his family was different race.
Yeah.
But the white kid, the white guy was the one who said he knew from an early age that it was all for show.
He says just mostly for show. Everything Jim Jones did was for show.
It was for show. He wanted power. He was actually one of the most power-hungry people that ever lived.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that. That's a big statement.
A crazy statement.
Yeah, you went for it, though.
Yeah.
Chrissy fucking go.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like I'm thinking about the next thing I'm going to say, and then I have to stop and go like, wait a second.
Yeah.
That's a wild statement.
Chrissy just said something wild.
Chrissy just said something fucking wild.
Yeah, I want some salmon today.
You do, right? You fucking Jew.
Yeah.
Weesongsien.
Don't say that in front of Mad Dog. He
No,
gets
yeah.
upset.
Jews love salmon.
Gotta love fish.
You
Yeah.
gotta have a little salmon, though.
James Mad Dog Mattern said he won't eat fish on Mondays because it's bad fish from the weekend.
Is that
he
what?
won't eat fish on Mondays.
Yeah, he needs to just eat a little more protein because he looks like he's recovering from
He
some
won't
sort
eat fish. He won't eat fish on Mondays,
sickness.
because he needs to stay away from the Mondays.
Yeah.
You know what I mean.
A lot of black people were in Jonestown, and because you got to give Jim Jones, even though it was all a ploy to win over those people, which is what it was. He didn't really care. All he cared about is self-aggrandizement and himself. But the message was a good message. And he actually was like very brave about stuff and went out of his way to support black people and racial harmony and justice and equality. But in retrospect, they say a lot of the hate crimes that he reported that he dealt with, they suspect he made those up on his own.
I can imagine.
It's like Rachel Dolezal did that. Do you think she's a psychopath?
She might be. Wait, what did Rachel? I know who she
She
is.
said she got some hate mail, but it's pretty clear. I mean, it's definite. She mailed it to herself. Because the way they researched it is she was the only person who had to keep that P.O. box, and it didn't go through the mail system, that mail. She just mailed it to herself.
Yeah.
So she made up these hate crimes. Another thing is Sean King, which I'm fascinated by that kid.
Yeah.
Because he does a lot of good work, but he's a white fucking kid.
Yeah.
I mean, the kid is white. He's got a white mother. He's got white siblings. His birth certificate, his father was white.
Yes.
But he does a lot of good stuff.
Was his mother black?
No, his mother's white.
White?
His mother's white. And when you look at childhood pictures of him, he's white.
But he's still doing a great thing, so it's like
He
whatever.
does some great work. But then also there's this hate crime that he says happened to him. And that's why I wonder. I'm like, is this kid a psychopath? Or like, because he says this huge hate crime happened to him, but that's not what was reported. And the police didn't report that. It's not what was happened. Supposedly the fight happened because it was black kids who beat him up because he was a white kid dating a black girl.
Right.
So it was the opposite of what he claimed.
What he claims,
And
yeah.
then he had this picture on his Facebook page where he was wearing this neck brace and he was all beat up, and the implication was he had it up there because it was like proof that he went through this hate crime where he was beat up and everything. But it was really from a fucking automobile accident.
Yeah.
So
just people will do anything
but
for
people
attention.
just believed it. Like nobody really looked into it.
Right.
Now he's removed that. But I remember when he had that up there in his backdrop is like one of the pictures, like him with the neck brace on. It's like, why would you have that up there from a car accident?
Right.
He had it up there because he wanted people to associate hate crime with this is what happened to me.
Yeah.
So he's a wild kid. People are fucking wild. And they're often very successful in manipulating people.
To a point. It usually does end bad, though. It usually does end bad. If your intentions are malice, you're usually going to die bad.
You think so?
Yeah. Look at everybody. Everybody goes down.
You're a smart kid, especially with like medical stuff, but you speak wrong a lot.
Yeah.
If you do, if you're malicious, is what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if your intent is
last
malice.
episode, you said it was preemptive too. You said it was preemptive too, and I was like, you said it was preemptive to the Cold War.
Well, see,
you just misspeak a lot.
I know,
and I'm trying, Lynn. I'm trying.
Well, you know what it is. Here's the thing. Sometimes I have the wrong words, but at the core, I know what I'm talking about. You
fucking go.
You use a lot of articulate words, but at the core, most of the times have no fucking clue what you're talking
I'm
about.
fucking stupid.
But you just are you fool people with the vocabulary.
Because I'm a dictator.
Yes, and that's why I know that if you had the chance, you would create Jonestown. Papa's film.
Because I just have too good of a heart for
You're
that.
a great kid.
Yeah.
You're a great
But
kid.
if something traumatic happened to me that cut off my emotions,
Yeah.
I'm not interested in it. You got to have
You said today that you don't care if you die in 5 years of stomach cancer.
Well, yeah. I mean, you just
you're
have
standing by it.
Do you know how much fucking motivation it's got to take and how much energy and
I just don't care.
to form to move to Guyana? You know how fucking retarded that is. You know how much
160 miles away from Georgetown, their capital.
I mean, who has to love control that much that you want to? I mean, move all the way to another country and just control 900 people.
Yeah, I'm not motivated to do it.
I don't have the motivation.
I just don't fucking care.
You got to give credit where credit's due. A lot of these kids, you got to respect their work ethic.
Absolutely.
I mean, supposedly Jim Jones had to work so hard he had to take amphetamines. He took amphetamines because his schedule was from like 7 in the morning to like 2, and then to come down, he would have to take a tranquilizer to sleep a couple hours.
He told all his followers because he works 24 hours a day for them. Just like Kim Jong-un tells the North Koreans he doesn't poop.
Yeah.
Just people going fucking nuts. Kim Jong-un told North Korea that he doesndoesn't poop.
Yeah, and a lot of people probably believe it.
Yeah, because people are stupid.
People are fucking stupid. Jim Jones told his followers that he was God.
Yeah.
And that he healed himself and he was doing all these things.
Here's why I know I'm definitely stupid, but here's why I know where I'm not as stupid as others, because I can admit that I'm very stupid and don't know most things.
Yeah.
So I think if you can admit to yourself that you don't know most things, you'll be able to see the bullshit.
Well, here's the true sign of a psychopath, I think.
Okay.
A
Well,
good
Jim
test.
Jones had this.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, laugh tells a lot. When a person laughs, how they laugh, why they laugh. But what's deeper than the laugh,
Okay.
I think, is if somebody can make fun of themselves. Psychopaths don't deal with that well. They don't deal with that well.
Interesting. Is that true? Is that just? Are you making that up? Is that your conclusion?
I'm not making that up.
That's science.
It's what
science proven.
If you talk to the psychiatrists, the psychologists.
Wow, I never knew that.
Specialize in that. Yeah, they rationalize everything. It's never their fault.
Okay.
That's a big trait to being a psychopath, is that they always blame someone else.
They never say I'm sorry.
And they never say I'm sorry. They never admit it's my fault or whatever, unless it's a ploy. But that's rare too, because they're just defensive and they say,
Right.
"Oh, well, he had it coming." If he didn't, it's what it is.
Right.
So that's a huge sign when someone can make fun of themselves, laugh at themselves. It shows a humility that exposes someone's humanity.
Interesting.
So yeah, you can't you couldn't just make fun of Jim Jones.
Yeah, he would lose his fucking mind.
He would lose his fucking mind,
Yeah.
because it's all about power.
Right.
They don't have a sense of humor about themselves. So
Right.
that's
Interesting.
That's a big way to tell who you're dealing with.
Who you dealing with?
Yeah, I mean you could start Chrissy Town.
No, again, not
No,
motivated.
you're just not
to do
into it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just not motivated. I mean, unless the puss stops rolling in.
Well, Jim Jones was fucking all the girls that lived there.
Yeah, he fucked
That's one of the
everybody.
things that always goes with these kids. They just fuck everybody. You start a cult, and everyone's getting fucked.
Yeah, it's always a different message, but it is always a thing. It's like, we're fucking you because.
Now, Jim Jones, so they lived down there in Jonestown and Guyana, and then things just got pretty fucking wild, and now it's Chrissy's turn to talk because I'm going to piss my pants.
Yeah, things got wild when he decided, first of all, the first thing he did just to test his power is he had everyone drink wine, and then after they drank the wine, he told them all it was poisoned. And he said, you guys have an hour to live. And what he wanted to do was just check his power, how many people were going to come up to him and try to kill him, how many people speak out against him. So he was a fucking psycho, and he was setting up for the main thing, which was eventually, I'm forgetting the exact day, eventually, he just made everyone drink cyanide, including himself, cyanide poison mixed with Kool-Aid, and everybody died. And he also wound up killing a senator who had come to try to look into what was going on. Because make no mistake, the U.S. government started to find out about what was happening at Jonestown and wanted to intervene. And this guy came, Senator Ryan, I think his name was Leo Ryan. Is that right? I think, yeah. And he he went to investigate what was happening in Jonestown, and Jim Jones just had his henchmen shoot him in the fucking head. They just murdered him, and then shortly thereafter, they got the cyanide poison and they killed everyone. So yeah, Jim Jones is just one of those guys. And again, I would have had more information, but Giannis came over when I was trying to research this second part and just started talking to me about fucking nonsense. That's the thing with Giannis, is we all love him, but I got to deal with him every fucking day, and at times it just gets really hard because he just fucking complains a lot about how shitty his life is when he's just a fucking straight white male in America. And then he just also fucking complains and talks about nonsense. And I have to fucking deal with his rants 24/7. Sometimes just not in the fucking mood.
Wild!
Yeah. And I hope he hears this. And I know he will, because he listens to every fucking second of this podcast like a true cock. Yeah.
So where did we leave
Yanni's
off?
back.
What'd you tell him?
I just told him what a great guy you are.
And you told him when he tested everybody by pretending.
I told him that, but then I didn't tell him. But then I told him about them drinking all the cyanide poison, but I didn't tell him about them killing the congressman.
Wow, you jumped way. You just jumped to the end because we're close, right?
Yeah, we're close right in an hour, and I can't take it anymore.
You're close.
Yeah, and we
We're
still
all
have to read the Patreon members out, and we still have to play Rafael DeLuca's song.
Oh wow! All right, so yeah, he killed a lot of people, Jim Jones. What happened was a congressman came down.
Was it Leo Ryan? Was that his name?
Leo Ryan, good kid.
Good kid. Leo's
We'll
a
talk
strong
about him on the Patreon.
name.
On the Patreon, we'll talk about that. So this all led to a fucking, obviously, the mass murder of 918 people. It was
stupid people.
Stupid fucking people. But at this point, they were a lot of, they were surrounded by guards, and
they wanted to get out.
Yeah, he forced everyone to kill themselves. So it was a mass murder. A painful death, cyanide, 300 children. He made the children go first.
So he made their parents watch their kids
Watch
die.
all their kids die. I mean, the guy's a sadist and a psychopath.
Does cyanide kill you slowly? And like how does it
Slowly,
work?
it's brutal.
Like,
brutal.
So they were in pain.
You suffocate slowly. It's fucking brutal. So that's why the piece of shit.
But he didn't even do it. He killed him. He shot himself, right?
Shot himself with a gun because he probably watched how much suffering everybody else was going through.
What a piece of shit.
Piece of fucking shit.
He's truly a piece of shit.
Piece of shit. And we will talk about in the bonus episode. And of course, we have tons of bonus episodes. If you haven't joined, for you to go binge on patreon.com/Bay Ridge Boys. Join the matriarchy. We depend on your support. We're growing. It's great. We got to just keep growing. So keep telling your friends, and we will talk more in depth about what happened to Congressman Leo Ryan on the bonus episode. But shit got wild. Fucking don't drink the Kool-Aid. That expression comes from him, the way he...
Really?
Yeah, don't drink the Kool-Aid. That's where it comes from.
Interesting.
Yeah, it comes from Jim James. It wasn't actually Kool-Aid. It was a cheaper version of Kool-Aid. What was it called again?
Cheap fuck.
Can you see the brand that he used? He mixed the cyanide, and he would he used it. He had little needles, and he would just squirt it in the mouths. He would force the kids to open their mouths, and he would squirt a little bit
Like little
of the
syringes.
cyanide mixed with the fruit drink.
Yeah, it just says powdered fruit drink.
Yeah, but what was it called?
I don't know.
Yeah.
All right.
So anyway, that's where the expression "don't drink the Kool-Aid" comes from.
And here we are. We're at the point of the podcast where we get to read out the newest members of the fucking matriarchy, the newest fucking members of Papa's Town. And I am just excited that you guys did decide to drink the Kool-Aid and join our Patreon at patreon.com/Bay Ridge Boys. And as always, we're going to read these names out, and Giannis is going to guess your ethnicity. First guy up, or person, Cortez Eagle.
I mean, that's an easy one. Cortez Eagle.
Latino.
He's a gun.
Yeah, it's a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a gun.
Yeah, 357 Eagle.
That's what it is. Andrew Lockhart. Come on.
That's a good old boy from Andrew Lockhart.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy, he's from maybe Indiana.
Liam Snell.
Wow, we got an Irish kid.
Yeah.
I think in the lead we have Irish. I think blacks might be in the lead.
Blacks and Irish are in the lead.
Yeah.
Now we got one. This kid's just money. This name just has money attached to it. Jack Grantham.
Jack Grantham sounds like a hero in a goddamn Ayn Rand novel.
Here we go.
And an
Here
Ayn
we
Rand
go.
novel.
Here we got one.
Yeah.
Nissan Hunt Moses. Nissan Hunt.
We got
Nissan.
that's Chinese.
Moses. No, he's I think from India.
Oh.
He has a picture of an Indian guy.
Why
but
We can't do that anymore because that Apu has been taken from the
problem with
Simpsons.
Apu.
You cannot talk like this anymore.
Carlin Dauphin.
Carlin Dauphin. I'm going African-American gentleman.
Nicholas Wilson.
White kid.
White. Ryan Cronin.
Fucking, it's so white it hurt my butt.
White.
White.
Daniel Goodwin.
Daniel Goodwin. Ooh, I think I'm going to go white kid, but he wants to be black.
Here's a piece. Christy Beretta.
She sounds like a fucking
Pig.
But also, she could be another gun. Beretta.
Christy Beretta. I actually
Beretta's
know
a
who
gun.
Christy Beretta is. She is a piece.
How do you know her?
I just know her.
You've looked through her gram photos.
Yeah.
Because you spent a lot of time looking at girls.
One name, David. We know what David is.
Jew?
If it's one name,
Black kid.
yeah, it's what it is.
Black kids love one names.
Lily Yu.
Lily Yu, that's a Chinese girl.
That is a Chinese girl.
Welcome.
Then we have-
I'm telling you, she will delete her pledge as soon as summer comes.
Yeah.
Because Chrissy gets a little wild.
Then we have Kevin Besh.
Black kid, right?
White kid with
White
a
kid.
full beard who looks like,
Wow.
yes.
Cute.
And then last but not least, full name, Fumeless Liam Kerrigan, parentheses, Irish kid, make no mistake, unimpressive piece. Yeah.
That is our PPW pseudo penis of the,
Of the
wig.
wig,
Wow.
yeah.
Can you go back and read that Grisham kid's name again? Because that fucking name that's a powerful, that's a name of a white kid who's gonna form a cult and do some damage on this planet.
Grisham?
Yeah.
Jack Grantham?
Grantham. Yeah.
Jack Grantham.
That kid's gonna do some harm.
That's what it is.
Yeah. I mean,
The drink that Jim Jones used, by the way, is called Flavor Aid.
Flavor Aid. That's what it is. Fake Kool-Aid. So can you imagine that? Saved a couple bucks.
It's what it is. So, yeah.
So thank you to those people for joining our matriarchy. We really appreciate the matriarchy keeps growing. Like we said, if we get to 1,000, I will put Chris's deformed feet in my fucking mouth.
And let's end this podcast with Raphael DeLuca's brand new single, Wei Shan Xian.
This is
Can
my
we
favorite.
ride out with Wei Shan Xian? Because
Yes.
this is the best one.
This is actually my favorite.
Yeah. And the video is fantastic.
Go check it out on our Instagram.
Thank you. Can we debut Raphael DeLuca's new song?
Wei Song Xian.
WEIZHONGXIAN.
We're going to have that for future episodes.
Yeah.
Wait, Shang.
When you say something fucking wild,
Yeah.
immediately out.
Wei Song Xian.
We got rid of Apu. Now we got another million South Asians to get rid of.
We need a Wei Shan Xian immediately.
Yeah.
Wei Song Xian.
Too many Chinese.
You're a racist.
Saying that they don't look alike. Going Republican, build a wall. Wei Shan Xian. I'm kidding.
Fucking emotional ninja.
I consider you an emotional.
Wei Song Xian.
Apologize for the joke. I just want to make sure Delilah's husband can swim. Wei Shan Xian, Wei Shan Xian, Wei Shan Xian.
I mean, you are fucking slack.
Huh?